In the heart of the Ozark Mountains, nestled among the misty hills of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, stands the Crescent Hotel, a place of elegance, beauty, and unrelenting darkness. Built in 1886, it was meant to be a grand retreat for the wealthy, a luxurious escape from the world. But over the years, its walls have absorbed more than just the whispers of its guests. They hold echoes of suffering, deception, and death. Today, it is known as America's most haunted hotel, a place where the past refuses to rest. At first glance, the Crescent Hotel appears timeless, its Victorian architecture standing proudly against the Arkansas sky. But behind its grand facade, a sinister past lingers. In the early 20th century, the hotel's golden age began to fade. It changed hands, its purpose shifting, until it fell under the control of a man who would seal its fate in infamy. Dr. Norman Baker was no doctor at all. A showman, a charlatan, a fraud. He posed as a medical savior, promising desperate patients a cure for cancer without the need for surgery. In the 1930s, he transformed the Crescent into Baker's Cancer Hospital, where the sick and dying placed their last hopes in his hands. But there was no cure. There was only suffering. His so-called treatments were nothing more than painful experiments, draining his patients of their money and eventually their lives. Many never left the building, their bodies disposed of in secret. The morgue beneath the hotel still holds the remnants of that terrible time, a place of cold metal slabs, empty bottles of false hope, and spirits that refuse to be forgotten. To this day, unexplained phenomena plague the hotel. Guests speak of cold spots, doors that slam shut on their own, and shadows that move just beyond the corner of their eyes. Some have heard whispers in the dead of night, voices calling out for help, only to find their rooms empty. But it is not just the voices of Baker's victims that roam these halls. Some spirits date back to the hotel's very construction. Room 218 is one of the most haunted in the building. It is said to be the domain of Michael, a stonemason who fell to his death while working on the original structure. His presence is impossible to ignore. Guests who stay in room 218 have reported objects moving on their own, covers being pulled from the bed, and even the sensation of unseen hands touching them in the night. Some say if you listen closely, you can still hear the sound of his body hitting the ground from above. And then there are the nurses, phantom figures in white, pushing gurneys down the long, dimly lit hallways. Witnesses claim to see them in the dead of night, moving as if they are still carrying out their duties from Baker's hospital. The faint squeak of wheels echoes through the corridors, growing louder before disappearing altogether. Paranormal investigators have long sought to unravel the mysteries of the Crescent Hotel. In the morgue, their instruments pick up strange voices, answering questions in hushed, ghostly tones. Sudden drops in temperature and flickering lights accompany their searches, as if the spirits themselves are watching, waiting. Some leave with chilling evidence. Others leave with the overwhelming sense that something unseen followed them home. Yet, despite its haunted reputation, the Crescent Hotel remains open, its doors welcoming new visitors every day. Some come for history. Some come for the thrill of the unknown. But all who step inside must ask themselves, what lingers in these walls? Are they merely stories, Or is the past truly alive here, whispering through the cracks of time? For those brave enough to visit, the answer is waiting. But be warned, some guests check in and never truly leave.